47 cases. 47 explanations. I've never failed. This is the 48th. I'm going to fail. I know I'm going to fail. I've known since I saw the list. I run a podcast, Paranormal Debunking. People send me their stories, their videos, their evidence. I find the rational explanation. Loose shutters, faulty wiring, camera glitches, sleep paralysis. I've been doing this for 6 years. 47 cases, 47 episodes. 47 times I've explained away the inexplicable. I don't mock the witnesses. I believe they experienced something. I just don't believe it was supernatural. There's always an explanation. There has always been an explanation. The 48th case came to me 6 months ago. A tenant in an apartment building. Strange noises, objects moving, lights turning on by themselves. The usual. I've seen it 100 times. I told her I'd investigate. I rented the Airbnb next door. Same floor, shared wall. I set up my equipment. Cameras in her apartment, cameras in the hallway, audio recorders, motion sensors. The same setup I've used for 47 cases. The first night, the hallway camera recorded 6 hours of footage. The saved file was 4 hours. 2 hours missing. Not corrupted, not a glitch, deliberately deleted. By someone who knew how to access my system. I checked the logs. The deletion came from a device connected to my own network. My own laptop. My own hands. At 3 a.m., when I was asleep. I told myself it was a software error. Automatic deletion. Scheduled cleanup. I've seen it before. There's always an explanation. The tenant gave me her notebooks. 6 months of documentation. Dates, times, descriptions. She had mapped every incident on a grid of the building. I plotted the points. Connected them. They formed a face. Not a perfect face. Not a face you'd recognize. But a face. 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth. The eyes were in the apartment next door. The mouth was in the hallway. The face was looking at my Airbnb. I verified with graph paper. I verified with mapping software. It was a face. I had no explanation. I told myself it was pareidolia. The brain sees faces in random patterns. I've explained this to listeners dozens of times. It's a known phenomenon. It's not paranormal. But the face was looking at me. Not at the tenant's apartment. At mine. At the room where I was sleeping. At the wall I was leaning against while I reviewed her notes. The next night, I set up a camera in the tenant's apartment, pointed at the hallway door. I wanted to see who was coming in. The footage showed nothing for 3 hours. Then, at 2 a.m., the door opened. No one walked through. The door just opened. Stayed open for 47 minutes. Then closed. No one entered. No one left. But the objects in the apartment had moved. The chair was pulled out. The lamp was turned on. The book on the nightstand was face down, as if someone had been reading it. I checked my camera in the hallway. The same door. The same time. The footage showed the door opening. No one there. The door closing. No one there. But my audio recorder picked up something. Breathing. Slow. Deliberate. At the same rhythm as my own. Not matching. Echoing. As if someone was standing in the tenant's apartment, listening to me listen to them. I told myself it was audio feedback. Crosstalk between recorders. The equipment is sensitive. I've had false positives before. But the breathing was in the tenant's apartment. My recorders were in the Airbnb. The wall between us is solid. There should be no crosstalk. I checked the utility access panel in the tenant's apartment. Behind the door, inside the wall. The panel was loose. I opened it. There was a list. Names. Dates. Going back years. Dozens of names. Most of them meant nothing to me. Then I saw mine. My name. dated 6 months ago. Before the tenant contacted me, before I knew about this apartment, before I booked the Airbnb, before any of this started. Below my name in smaller handwriting. Case 48. He will not explain this one. He will stay. I told myself it was a prank. The tenant wrote it. Someone else wrote it. It's not real. There's always an explanation. I checked the handwriting against the tenant's notes. Not a match. I checked against the building's maintenance records. Not a match. I checked against my own handwriting. It was mine. I have never been in that utility closet before. I have never seen that panel before. I have never written that list. But the handwriting was mine. The loops on the G's, the cross on the T's, the way I dot my I's with a small circle instead of a dot. I've done that since I was a child. No one else writes like that. Someone has been practicing my handwriting. Someone has been practicing for a long time. Someone has been getting ready for me. I set up a camera in my Airbnb, pointed at the shared wall. I wanted to see if anything was coming through. The footage from last night showed me at 2 a.m. I was asleep. The camera showed me asleep. But the audio picked up something. Footsteps on the other side of the wall, walking back and forth, pacing. The same rhythm as my breathing. The same rhythm as my heartbeat. Then a voice. My voice. Whispering. I know you're listening. I've been listening to you for 6 years. Every episode. Every explanation. Every time you told someone they were wrong. I was there. I was learning. I don't remember whispering that. I don't remember being awake at 2 a.m. I don't remember speaking. But the voice on the recording is mine. The cadence is mine. The breath at the end of each sentence is mine. Something is using my voice. Something has been using my voice for a long time. Something has been waiting for me to notice. I checked my old episodes. The ones from the early days. The ones before I got popular. I listened to my explanations. I listened to my conclusions. I listened to my voice. In episode 12, I debunked a case about a mirror that fogged up by itself. I explained it as temperature differentials. The listener wrote back and said I was wrong. They said the mirror fogged up again after I left. They said something was in the room with them. I told them they were mistaken. I told them to check their ventilation. I told them to call a contractor. I listened to that episode again. At the end, after I signed off, there was a sound. Faint. Easy to miss. A whisper. My whisper. Case 12. He explained it. He will explain the next one, too. He is very good at explaining. But he will run out of explanations eventually. I have time. I don't remember recording that whisper. I don't remember being in the studio after I signed off. I don't remember saying those words. But the whisper is on the recording. The whisper has been on every recording for 6 years, waiting for me to notice. I tried to leave. I packed my bags. I walked to the door. The door didn't open. Not locked, not jammed, just wouldn't open, as if something on the other side was holding it closed. I tried the window. Same thing. I tried the fire escape. Same thing. I was trapped in an Airbnb, with a wall that had my name on the other side, with a voice that had been following me for 6 years, with a face on the map that was looking at my room. I went back to the shared wall. I put my ear against it. I listened. Breathing. Slow. Deliberate. The same rhythm as mine. Then a knock. 3 times. I knocked back. 3 times. The wall answered. 3 knocks. Same rhythm. Same spacing. Then a voice. My voice. So close, it felt like it was inside my head. 47 cases. 47 explanations. You've never failed. But you've also never been right. You've just been close enough. close enough to keep people calm, close enough to keep them from looking deeper, close enough to keep me hidden. I've been in every case, every episode, every explanation. I'm the variable you never accounted for. I'm the reason the evidence didn't fit. I'm the reason you had to work harder each time. You thought you were getting better at debunking. You were getting better at working around me. I checked the list again. The names, the dates, dozens of them, going back years. I recognized one. A name from my early episodes. A woman who claimed something was living in her walls. I debunked her case. I told her it was rodents. I told her to call an exterminator. She stopped returning my calls. I thought she was embarrassed. I thought she didn't want to admit I was right. She stopped returning my calls because she couldn't. Because something got her. Because something has been getting everyone I've debunked. The list is not a record of cases. The list is a menu. And my name is the next entry. I tried to call the tenant, the one who hired me, the one who gave me the notebooks, the one who mapped the face. Her number was disconnected. I checked the building directory. She never lived there. Her name wasn't on any lease. Her apartment was empty. It had always been empty. She was never real. She was a way to get me here, a way to get me into this room, a way to get me alone with the wall. I haven't slept in 2 days. I've been sitting in this Airbnb, staring at the shared wall, listening to the breathing on the other side. It's not stopping. It's not leaving. It's waiting. I checked my podcast feed this morning. New episode. Episode 48. I didn't record it. I haven't recorded anything since I got here. But the episode is there. My voice, my cadence, my explanations. The episode is about me, about this case, about the 48th investigation. At the end of the episode, after my voice signs off, there's a whisper. My whisper. Case 48. He did not explain this one. He did not leave. He is still here. He will always be here. The wall is patient. The wall has been waiting. The wall will keep him company. I looked at the wall. The paint was smooth. The plaster was solid. But I could see it, behind the wall. The names from the list. The people I debunked. The people I told they were wrong. They were in there. They were watching me. They were waiting for me to join them. I'm going to close my eyes now. The room is quiet. The breathing has stopped. But the wall is warm, and I can feel something on the other side, something that has been waiting for me for a very long time. Something that knows my name, something that knows my voice, something that knows my face, something that is about to knock. My partner is outside. The building let me in. It didn't let him. I don't know why it chose me, but I think I'm supposed to find something, or someone, or whatever is left of them. I've been a paramedic for 11 years. I've responded to thousands of calls, house fires, car accidents, cardiac arrests. I've seen buildings that were falling apart. I've seen buildings that were crime scenes. I've seen buildings that should have been condemned decades ago. I've never seen a building that wasn't on any map. The call came in at 11:47 p.m. Difficulty breathing, 3rd floor. The address was 1472. I know this route. I've driven it 1,000 times. The street has buildings 1470 and 1474. There is no 1472. There has never been a 1472. But the navigation said it was there. My partner checked the map. The building was on his screen. A dot. A location. A destination. We drove to the address. 1470 on the left, 1474 on the right. Between them, an empty lot. No building, no construction. No nothing. Then I looked up. The building was there. I've been doing this long enough to trust my eyes. The building was between the other two, taller than both, narrower, dark. No lights in the windows, no sign on the door. Just a door, just windows, just a building that should not exist. My partner got out of the ambulance. He walked toward the door. He stopped. He turned around. He said, I can't go in there. I asked him why. He said, I don't know. I just can't. My feet won't move. I got out. I walked to the door. My feet moved. My feet were fine. The door opened. I went inside. My partner stayed outside. He called after me. He said he'd call for backup. He said he'd wait. He said he'd be right there. The door closed behind me. I didn't close it. The lobby was dark. Not pitch black. Emergency lighting. The kind that stays on when the power is out. The kind that makes everything look like a photograph from a crime scene. I checked my radio. Signal. I called my partner. He answered. He said he was right outside. He said the door was locked. He said he couldn't get in. I looked at the door. It wasn't locked. I could see the street through the glass. I could see the ambulance. I could see my partner standing by the door trying to open it. He couldn't see me. I waved. He didn't wave back. He kept trying the door. He kept failing. I turned away. The elevator was on my left. The stairs were on my right. The call was for the 3rd floor. I took the stairs. The stairwell was narrow, concrete, cold. The lights flickered. Not like a power issue, like something was passing in front of them. Something I couldn't see. I checked my watch. 11:52 p.m. I checked the clock on the wall. 11:35 p.m. 17 minutes slow. I checked my equipment. The monitor, the defibrillator, the portable clock on my medical kit. All of them 17 minutes slow. Something was affecting time. Something in this building. Something that didn't want me to know what time it really was. I climbed to the 3rd floor. The door was marked 3. I pushed it open. The hallway was long, longer than the building should allow. I counted the doors. 301, 302, 303. The call was for 305. I walked to 305. The door was open. The room was dark. I turned on my flashlight. The room was empty. No furniture. No equipment. No patient. Just dust. Just silence. Just the smell of a place where someone had been a long time ago. I checked my radio. Dispatch, I'm on the 3rd floor. No patient, no contact. Can you confirm the address? Static. Then a voice. My voice. Patient is in the room. Patient has always been in the room. Patient is waiting for you. I didn't say that. I didn't transmit that. But the voice on the radio was mine. The cadence was mine. The breath at the end of the sentence was mine. Something was using my voice. Something was using my equipment. Something was using me. I checked my watch. 11:52 p.m. Same as when I entered the stairwell. I had been in the building for at least 10 minutes. My watch said 0 minutes. I checked the clock on the wall. 11:35 p.m. Still 17 minutes slow. I checked my medical kit clock. 11:35 p.m. My defibrillator. 11:35 p.m. All of them. Frozen. Stuck. Waiting. I tried to call my partner. The radio worked. He answered. He said he was still outside. He said the door was still locked. He said he'd been trying to reach me for 20 minutes. He said dispatch had lost my signal. I told him I was fine. I told him I was on the 3rd floor. I told him the room was empty. He said, "You've been on the 3rd floor for 47 minutes. Your GPS shows you moving. You're not in one room. You're moving through the building. You've been moving through the building since you entered. I looked at my feet. They were not moving. I was standing still. I had been standing still since I entered the room. But my GPS said I was moving. My partner said I was moving. The building said I was moving. Something else was wearing my shoes. Something else was walking my walk. Something else was going somewhere I couldn't follow. I found the notebook on the floor. In the corner of room 305. Leather-bound, water-stained. The handwriting was small, neat, familiar. The first page. My name is not important. I was a paramedic. I responded to a call at this address. That was 11 years ago. I have been in this building for 11 years. I have been writing this notebook for 11 years. I have been trying to leave for 11 years. The next page. The building does not want me to leave. It wants me to stay. It wants me to keep responding. It wants me to keep climbing the stairs. It wants me to keep opening doors. It wants me to keep finding empty rooms. The next page. The building is not a building. It is a patient. It is the only patient. And we are the only ones who can treat it. But we don't know how. We don't know what's wrong. We don't know why it keeps calling us. The next page. There were others before me. Paramedics, firefighters, police. They are still here. They are in the walls. They are in the floors. They are in the rooms that don't exist on any map. They are still responding. They are still climbing. They are still opening doors. The last page. If you are reading this, do not trust the clocks. Do not trust the doors. Do not trust the exits. And do not trust yourself. The building knows you. The building has been waiting for you. The building has been calling you for a very long time. The handwriting on the last page was mine. I didn't write this notebook. I've never seen it before. But the handwriting is mine. The words are mine. The fear is mine. I've been in this building before. Not today, not last week, years ago. I've been here before. I've written this notebook before. I've left it for myself before. And I've never left. I checked my watch. 11:52 p.m. Still frozen. I checked the clock on the wall. 11:35 p.m. Still 17 minutes slow. I checked the door. The door to room 305 was closed. I didn't close it. I left it open. It was closed. I opened it. The hallway was different. Longer. Darker. The doors were different numbers. 401. 402. 403. I was on the 4th floor. I didn't climb the stairs. I didn't take the elevator. But I was on the 4th floor. I tried to go back. The stairwell door was gone. The elevator was gone. The only way was forward. I walked to room 405. The door was open. The room was empty. Same dust, same silence, same smell. But there was a window. A window that looked out onto the street. I could see the ambulance. I could see my partner. I could see the door he couldn't open. I could see myself, standing in the street, looking up at the building, looking at the window, looking at me. The other me waved. I didn't wave back. I couldn't. My hand wouldn't move. My hand was holding the notebook. My hand was writing in the notebook. My hand was writing, I have been in this building for 11 years. I have been writing this notebook for 11 years. I have been trying to leave for 11 years. The building does not want me to leave. It wants me to stay. It wants me to keep responding. It wants me to keep climbing the stairs. It wants me to keep opening doors. My hand was writing the same words, the same notebook, the same page, the same lie. I wasn't writing it for the first time. I was writing it again. I had written it before. I would write it again. The building was a loop. The call was a loop. The notebook was a loop. And I was the only one who could break it. But I didn't know how. I've never known how. I've been trying for 11 years. My partner found me. He forced the door open. He climbed the stairs. He found me in room 305. On the 3rd floor. Not the 4th. The 3rd. I was sitting in the corner, holding the notebook, staring at the wall. He said I'd been gone for 47 minutes. He said I didn't remember the last 10 minutes. He was wrong. I remembered all of them. I remembered 11 years of them. I remembered every time I'd climbed these stairs, every time I'd opened these doors, every time I'd written this notebook. But I couldn't tell him. I couldn't tell anyone, because if I told him, he would know, and if he knew, he would try to help, and if he tried to help, he would enter the building, and then he would never leave. I let him lead me out. I let him drive me to the hospital. I let them check my vitals. I let them say I was fine. I let them say I was just tired. I let them say it was stress. I didn't tell them about the clocks. I didn't tell them about the notebook. I didn't tell them about the other me in the street. I didn't tell them about the building. The next day, I drove past the address. 1470 on the left, 1474 on the right. Between them, an empty lot. No building, no door, no windows. But on the ground, in the dirt, a notebook. Leather-bound, water-stained. I didn't pick it up. I didn't open it. I didn't need to. I knew what was inside. I wrote it. 11 years ago. Today. Tomorrow. The building is gone. But the call isn't. It came again last night. Same address, same time, same floor. I didn't respond. I told dispatch I was unavailable. I told them to send another unit. They did. They haven't come back. I'm writing this in my apartment. The door is locked. The windows are closed. The clocks are all set to the same time, but I can hear it. The building, calling me. Not through the phone, through the walls, through the floor, through the silence between my heartbeats. It's not a building. It's a patient. And I'm the only one who can treat it. But I don't know how. I've never known how. I've been trying for 11 years. And I think I'll be trying for 11 more.